Oh, there we go. Good. All right. So, hi guys. How are you doing? Happy Magic Monday. I wanted to get on here and show you, actually, so today is the last day of celebration. So any of the free stuff that has been available is, any of the free stuff that's been available, today is your last day to get it. So go ahead and, if you know, select me as your demonstrator and put in, I have a new house code today because since it's the last day, unless anyone can get it in, but I forget what I was going to say. Okay, yeah, so today's the last day for celebration. Don't forget all those free items, you know, like the otter stamp set, the butterfly one, the rainbow paper, the sunshine and rainbow paper, the Simply Marvelous paper, the Daffodil Delight paper, all of those things. Today is the last day to get those. So make sure you check those out and order. Today's the last day for any of those free items. It's also the last day to join my team, and you get 2 free stamp sets. So for $99, you get $125 worth of product. You also get 2 free stamp sets on top of that. And then you're also get a discount in the future and free shipping on everything you order today. So if you want to join my team, go to fabulousstamper.com and click join my team. And we have monthly meetings. And then there's also a bigger monthly meeting with a bunch of other crafting ladies, but there's also a small one just with me and my small team. And so that actually is the cool part, is having a small team can kind of keep things intimate, can be good too. So, that's all I can think of right now. And I need to show you what's coming tomorrow. So if you're all done with shopping for today, you can get ready to look at what's for tomorrow. So, all right, let's get started. So starting tomorrow, all right, so let's get this lined up just right. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, starting tomorrow, let me lift this up a little bit actually, because I want you to be able to see, oops, pulled it out of the holder. I want you to be able to see how I do the mini embossing folder with the adhesive sheets. So starting tomorrow, this mini embossing, mini stamp cut emboss machine is going to be on sale 20%, 20% off, or 10% off, 10% off, I think. No, I think it's 20%. It's a discount, a significant discount, which is surprising because we never have discounts on these machines. So it will be discounted, and it comes with these plates that go with it, and it cuts out dies, and these are what we call die cutters, you know, and it cuts out the pieces that you need. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So this will be on sale tomorrow at a discount, starting March 1st at a discount. I'm going to also need to put my new host code out. And starting tomorrow, this stunning paper is going to be available to purchase. And this paper is while supplies last. Okay, it is not going to stay. I have a feeling it's going to sell it pretty quickly. Last year we had a butterfly paper and it sold out really quickly as well. Okay, stunning ocean paper. I just can't get enough of it. My mind is like spinning with all the things I can do with this paper. It's just all this ocean. It was made with, it's made with kind of like it's called a marbling technique, but where you you put drops in instead. Oops. Oh, la, 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 la. I want to make sure you get to see each sheet. Oh, I showed you that one already. I think this might be the last one. Oh, I love this one with this green in here. It's just stunning. Yeah, this is the last one. So you get 12 by 12 sheets for $11.50. So that's cheaper than $1 a sheet. That's like a little less than $1 a sheet, maybe like 90 something cents a sheet. And it's exclusive. Once this is gone, it's gone, done. It won't come back. It's while supplies last. As well, the other thing that's while supplies last are these amazing rhinestones, which I am in love with. Check out these amazing, gorgeous rhinestones. They're all, I wanted to get more light for you. They're all coordinating that gorgeous paper. So perfect, perfect. Then the last thing that's while supplies last is this foil, the paper and the foil. We're going to be using, it has, I think, 6 sheets in it total. So there's the silver, there's the Night of Navy, which I haven't used yet. It is just so, look at how rich that is. And see, you use this all with the coordinating paper. I mean, the coordinating paper. And the last one is this Coastal Cabana. Or is it Coastal Cabana or Buena Bay? Coastal Cabana. I mean, so pretty. Oh, you can see my camera. And so, you know, I told you I don't have fancy equipment, you guys. I just have, this is what I've got. So, and this is all, again, while supplies last. The whole set, including the stamps, is $79, I think $25. And that includes the paper, the rhinestones, the paper, the rhinestones, and then here's the stamp set. I hadn't even shown you the stamp set yet. The stamp set is so gorgeous. Okay, good. I accidentally pressed the power button. So look at this stamp set. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the power button. This stamp set and these dies are, once you see how the dies work, it's really stunning. It creates these amazing, these are waves and clouds. It's really cool. We're going to be using this die, just this one today, and see all the clouds. And there's also birds. It will also cut out this pelican. But you can layer several layers on top of even the stamp. It's really, really cool. And our friendship is a thing of beauty. You're so totally awesome. Actually, that's a very, I say that kind of stuff all the time. Happy birthday. And then your strength is an inspiration. And that's the stamp set we're using today. So I'm going to take out my dies. Take out my, ooh, I forgot. I needed to get this stamp out in the, there it is. I meant to get my Stamparatus out, but I didn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a, we're going to cut the wave, but we're going to cut it with an adhesive sheet. And so I guess I'll move this over to show you. Okay, so I've got my Bermuda Bay foil, okay? And these are adhesive sheets. So this is a very delicate die. There's a lot of tiny pieces. So to glue it down is going to be a little difficult. So what we're going to do, and this, like I said, this paper, now the stamp set will be available in June. That's why I was saying the paper is exclusive. The stamp set will be available all the way into June. In June, it'll be available in the new catalog. This is like a sneak peek. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of adhesive that's going to be big enough so that I don't have to try and glue all these little tiny lines down. And this was a new technique I learned. So there's 2 sides to this adhesive sheet. This side, let me get my light over here a little closer. This side has little lines. You see the little lines in it? And that's so you can peel off your pieces. This side is just flat, okay? You're gonna trim you wanna trim your piece a little bit less than your, the piece that you need. So I'm gonna start trimming about there. And it should fit. Yeah, it'll fit. I just have to be real careful because you want it a little bit less than the size that you're doing, because you don't want the adhesive to go over the edges. This is a little close on this end, so I'm going to trim off that tiny bit. Okay, and you know, save all your pieces of adhesive, because you never know when you're going to need a little piece for a small embellishment later. Okay, and so I believe the adhesive sheets, you get 12 sheets, and I believe it's like $7. I don't think it's very expensive for the sheets. And you're not using it. And see, here's the leftover adhesive. So the next time I want to cut something with the Bermuda Bay, I have all this leftover here. So I'm going to make sure I put my pelican or whatever I want to cut right on this spot so that I can go ahead and use up that leftover adhesive. This is a really large die. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn the lined side down, and you're going to peel off. You're going to peel, let's see, am I on camera? Good. Okay. You're going to put you're going to line up your rectangle, whoops, right onto one. It's like you're peeling one sticker at a time. So that's one sticker I just put down. And see, some of it even came off a little bit on my finger, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect to it. And then we're going to do the next one. We're going to line up this next one. This is perfect for delicate and intricate dies. And so I'm putting these little stickers down, but I don't want to handle it too much, you know? And so that's why I'm trying to get it to where I'm holding the smooth backing and not, no. See, I moved it a little, but that's okay. You're not going to need adhesive on every single tiny intricate piece. And I'm going to leave that like that. So here's an already stuck down piece. And so when we're using our stamp cut and emboss machine, there are several plates. This one is, and it tells you when you get it, it tells you what the plates are and what they're for. So like this one here is for embossing folders, and it tells you how you're going to lay it down. This one here is also for embossing folders, and it tells you how you're going to lay it. You see, and it numbers it even. You see, so you would have 1 and 3, insert embossing folder, hinge, and then you lay 4 and 1. And so it tells you, depending on the thickness of the embossing folder, because some of them are 3D embossing folders that are very thick, and some of them are very thin embossing folders, you see, so you need a different one depending on the type you have. And then these are the cutting plates, these clear ones. And here is the one that is this place the die cutting edge down. And so we're going to put this in. Let me turn it. We're going to put in number 1. Scoot back my laptop a little bit. And then we're going to put in plate number 2. Okay. Then we're going to put in our piece of foil, right? I want my foil like this. And because it's foil, I want to make sure that all the scratches on this piece do not show up on my, foil, because they will imprint. You know, the foil is sensitive. So it will take the impressions of the, it'll take the impressions of whatever's above it. So what I do, I could have even just put this little adhesive piece down, actually. I'll do that, actually. So you can take a piece of paper, you can take any kind of piece of, even a piece of cardstock, but that's kind of thin. You want something thin. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this white piece of paper down, and this just prevents the foil from getting all the scratches from this plate. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert it, and it's going. Oh, my paper's not sticking down. Okay. And then when I pull everything off, you see there's an impression here of the paper, but that's okay. But the foil stayed nice and clean. You see, the foil is nice and clean. Let me set all this aside, and I'll pop out all those pieces. And I just used regular piece of paper there for that, nothing fancy. Oh, and we also need to do our label. And our label doesn't require anything fancy because our label is just out of plain cardstock. So I put down my white piece here, and let me grab my, the die cut for it. Where did they go? I was just showing them to you guys. How did they disappear already? That's so strange. Hold on. Give me 1 second. My desk, I just cleaned up my desk, so everything should be pretty handy. Did I set it? So weird. Where's my die? Where are my dies? I just showed them to you guys. How did they disappear already? Hold on, let me look and see if I set them down. Oh, you know what? I think I set them down with the paper. Maybe. No? That is so strange. I just, oh, I had them here. I need one more die. Okay. It's so weird. I was just showing them all off to you guys. My desk is literally just a little bit bigger than my space here. Okay. Oh, here they are, right in front of my eyes. Okay. They were right there to the side. I put a little lunchbox on top. I wanted to use this little label here. It's a cute label, so I wanted to use that. I knew I had them here. I was like, I just had them. All right, so here's a normal die. And you know, you just have your basic cardstock in there. You don't need anything else on top. Whoops. I think, okay, there we go. Sorry, I put the light in front. Here's a normal die. You just put, you don't put anything else on top, any paper on top. You just put it down. You put your die in, and then you just crank it through. And it'll pop out your little label. I've never shown the, you know, this. Usually I do these separately, but because it's on sale, I wanted to make sure everyone knew why these are so cool. I love a punch. Don't get me wrong. I love punches because they're so quick and easy. And see, look how cool. It folds right up into like a little tiny mini toaster. So it's just the right size for a small space like mine. I just have a tiny workspace, so it's the perfect size. And so here's my little label. And so it popped out these little pieces here, which I can throw away. And there's my little label. And it's nice and stitched, which I love. I love the stitched labels. And I can just pop it right back inside my envelope. I also get magnet sheets and I put them inside of my stamps, and that's cool too. So, all right, so we have our dies. And I wanted to show you, before I take that one apart, yesterday I was practicing with it. So I pulled out that one's the same. There we go. Okay, so here's a silver one, and here is the one that we're going to be using right now, but it's we're going to use this one right now because this one doesn't have adhesive. But you see, the reason why it's so cool is because when you can layer these dies on top of each other. Oops, they're tangled. Okay, so I have a silver one, and so you can layer them on top of each other, and it makes such a cool, you know, such dimension to it. So even if they were all the same color, it still adds a lot of cool dimension either way. You see, look at how it adds all this different design in between by having several layers. And so that's what makes these dies really, really cool, really intricate. These ones don't have glue on them, so we're not going to use those. And remember, this paper is limited. It's while supplies last. So I'm already ordering for a customer because they're going to be on, 2 customers actually. One has trouble using the computer and the other one is going to be out of town. So they asked me to order for them, so which I will be doing. So yeah. And then I just put all my stuff. Oops, I put it on. Make sure you put your foil, especially like a big foil sheet like this, back inside but backwards, because that'll keep it from getting the impressions that I was telling you about, how it'll get these weird impressions. So you want to try and have the foil side facing inward. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to pop out all these little pieces, and it'll pop out my little die here. And so there we go. And there is our little wave. And so I wanted to get the hard part out of the way first. And it's not hard, it's just an extra step that I don't always use when I'm stamping. So, but starting tomorrow, that little machine, the mini one, will be discounted, which never happens. Oh, and then you get 2 free stamp sets. Not free stamp sets, 2 stamp sets at a discount as well. Or not stamp set, die sets. So you get 2 die sets and the mini stamp cut and emboss at a discount. I'm actually going to save these little pieces because even though they're not any particular shape, because of the shine, they might be the perfect little piece to put behind or some little bling. This one actually looks like a moon almost. You know what I mean? So like there's some cool little pieces I'm going to save. I don't normally save like that, like a little magpie, but I'm going to save these ones just because the foil is more expensive than regular paper, but also because I could use those pieces in other things, like because they're got the adhesive on it. So this is the card we're making. I'm sorry, I got so excited about showing you how to use the machine. This is the card we're making. And so it's very Moana and super cute. And so, and this is using all that new paper that I have. I mean, so cute. I'm sure Marcia couldn't wait to see this. So, all right. So, we're also going to be using our sailboat punch. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started with our layering. So I have a normal card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches. Okay. And I'm going to set that aside. And then I have Bermuda Bay, or this is Coastal Cabana. Normally I go 1/4 inch in, but this time I only went 1/8 in, okay? Because I wanted to get this wave, I've got it backward, okay. This wave is very large. Now I could have cut off the edge of the wave, but I liked that, oops, there's another little piece I didn't pop out. But I like that the edge of the wave went right to the edge of my paper, okay? And I'm actually using this paper here. This is the back side of the dark navy blue wave paper. And I wanted to maximize that wave, but I still wanted a layer behind So I added just 1/8 in. So that means this is 4 1/8, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, 5 3/8. Okay. I don't normally do my cards that way. So the back, this is the deep navy wave paper, and this is the other side, which is, it's still so cool. I've actually made marbleized paper like this before in an art class. It's pretty cool. But look at how rich even this paper, this actually even looks like, this could be like the night sky, almost like Starry Night or something. Ooh, there's a good idea, Starry Night. That would be cool. I don't know how I do it with my stamps, but I'll figure out a way. Okay, cool, done. Get that on there. And then we're layering it. So I did it by 8ths. I don't normally do that, but I did. And so, I mean, I know that you guys are smart, but I want to show you, not everyone knows the difference. So I went to 4, this is 4 1/4 right here. And I have had people ask me that because it's just, they forgot some of the fractions, you know? I mean, how often do we use rulers really after we leave school? So this is 4 1/4. That's what I would normally do. Well, instead I did 4 1/8, you see, because these little shorter, it's not the shortest line, it's the second shortest. So the shortest one is a 16th. This one is an 1/8. And then, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 5 is the 8. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, so these 3 longer ones are the quarters. The next ones down are the 8ths, and you count the long ones and the shorter ones together. And then when you go to the mini ones, you're going to the 16ths. It's 16 hash marks. So just letting you know, it might be something you already know, but not everyone does. I've had people ask me before, so please don't, I'm not talking down to anyone. I want to make sure that everyone knows how to use a ruler. My good friend, actually, her husband is oh gosh, I forget what he does, but it's something mathematical. And she was like, I don't understand. She was having trouble figuring out what they were called. Like, she knew which mark she wanted to use, but she had trouble figuring out what those hash marks were called. And then he explained it to her. So, you know, I mean, we all have different educations, different backgrounds, and how often do we use some of these different things? So, oh, I need to make my wave. So for my wave, I actually I'm short a, let me see if it covers it up. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Yeah. I need a block that was bigger. So what I did, I didn't have the biggest block. I meant to grab my Stamparatus, but I don't have it now. But I have a backup here if I need it. So what I did was I took the Pool Party ink. I just threw my wave into the garbage by mistake, so I'll put it back in the container. All right, after I lost them earlier. Okay, so my stamp is really large. So you're gonna need a larger block. I believe it is the, oh, it doesn't say the block you need on here. This is the, I think this is the E or D. No, because that's C, D. I think this is actually the D block. Oh, it'll say on the side. This is the E block, and it's not big enough. You see, it's still a little short. But I wanted to make it work, and I forgot I had the Stamparatus, so I actually took my A block, which is the same height as the E block, and I pressed them down together. And again, you could even take a Pyrex dish. You know, I've seen people take a Pyrex dish to try and get their little image down. So, all right, so we'll get this all nice and pressed. And remember, when you share, comment and share my video, I put you in for a drawing for the cards we make. Card or cards. Okay, so I'm inking up my blocks. I don't need a mat underneath. Let me get that down here. Okay. Okay, I don't need a mat for underneath. I want to get this right down on the edge of my paper. Okay, and I'm actually pressing down my little mini block and my big E block. And so I need the bigger one. I need the F block because that's actually what would fit this large one. I've just rarely have a stamp. Perfect. I got it just right. See, I did it earlier without the little mini block. I did it before without the mini block and it came out a little blotchy. So that was another day, but that's okay. So I got it good. And look at that nice ink on there. I really inked it up really well this time. It looks even better than it did last night. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out my wave. Oops, these are the wrong scissors. There they are. Okay, I'm going to hold off on cutting the inside of that piece. I just need to get it around the edge. You'll see all these little speckles at the top of the wave. Then I'm going to see if I can cut a straight line down. I think I can. And you could even put this in the paper trimmer to trim off this edge here. Okay, so we've got our little pieces. Okay, so then I'm going to take my little sticky wave and just see. Okay, so I want to cut about right there. I want to cut my wave in just a little bit more. I knew I wanted to cut into the wave like this, but I wanted to use that a little bit as a guide before I totally went in. And I can trim more. I think I need to trim that a little bit more, but I want to, you know, you can always take away more later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the sticker off the back of this. So I'm going to try and find the little line. Here we go. Here's a line. And we'll pull at that line and you see it's peeling off. There's now sticker all underneath that. And it peels it off just a little bit, and you'll have to keep finding little pieces of the sticker. Like this one wasn't connected, but it's connected up here. Keep peeling off all my little sticker pieces. Okay, and there's one more. It's still delicate, so you want to be careful. I'm not always the best at being delicate, but I'll try my best. And so now I want to line it up. I'm going to turn it backwards, just because I don't want to waste any foil. Oh, I bent it a little too much, I can see. So I'm going to see if I can line up my edge over here. Ooh, almost ripped it. It's delicate. Oh, I stamped it a little too short. That's a bummer. I stamped it a little bit short. I'm gonna pick it, see if I peel it off. I stamped it a little bit too short. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the other one I have. I'm gonna set this aside. So I stamped it a little too short. You see, I cut it off the edge. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna take my mistake that I had from yesterday. I need it to be the full length. And so that's the only reason why I'm going to go use this one. That's a bummer because that one was a really nice looking one. I didn't realize I had cut it off so far to the edge. You see, I'm moving the paper, not the scissors. I keep pushing the paper towards me. And that, I think I can leave that piece. So, all right, so we'll use my mistake. Yeah, okay. So, and we'll take our sticker. And we're gonna put it right against this edge here. There we go. Okay. Oh, and then I cut, this one's moved down. There we go. Come on. Okay. There we go. So I still need to trim off some little edges at the top here to make sure that's a little sharper. I'm not trimming the foil, I'm just trimming the cardstock. And I'm gonna make sure this point is a little sharper in. There we go. All right, so we still have our wave, but see, there's this little blotchy area down there. So I didn't really like that, but that's okay. All right, so we've got our little wave. We're gonna pop that up on dimensionals and we're gonna put it right to the edge here. Oh, and look, it's still not to the edge. Oh, that's so annoying. Trial and error, trial and error. So, see, because I wanted it to come all the way to the edge here. Okay, well, this will have to do. You see how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to come all the way to the edge. Okay, so we'll get my dimensionals. A lot of dimensionals because it's long. All right. All right. So then we're going to put this along the bottom edge of our card. Oops. I've got to trim off this edge here. It is a delicate die, so I think doing it on camera also makes me nervous. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and lay that along the bottom. Try and get it to where it covers up the, yeah, there we go. Oh, good. The edging, the short edge isn't actually going to show up too much because I made it 3D. You can't tell as much that it's short on the side. Like, I'm not going to waste not, want not. And so I usually don't start all over. That's just not my style. I'll definitely use this on another card. I'm just not going to use it on this card just because of what I needed it for. But I'll use it on another card. A card that was a little shorter. Okay. This one I wanted the full wave because I needed, the reason why I needed the full length of the wave is because I need to put the boat. And so I'm not just being picky. It's really because I needed the boat. And so we'll go ahead and we'll punch out. I wish there were an easy way to get like the boat, the part of my, from my punch, but there really isn't. So I got my little boat And this is Cajun Craze because it's Moana's boat. So her little ship. And then I need to punch out, I want to punch out this long sail. If you guys saw the other card I did, you'll know that the sail, I had this debate on the last time I did the card. I couldn't figure out what the name of it was. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to trim a little bit off the top here for the mast, and I want it to be a little, okay, and I have Calypso Coral. See, I have to make sure it's big enough to get my, this is how it normally would go. This would go on the back. Let's see. I think this goes on the back side, and the other one goes on the front side here. But I'm going to switch it around, and I want it to be like this. So you see, because her sail was this funny little triangle, and it was like really round. Okay, so I'm actually going to trim off this little bit here, and I'm going to round it. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. And I do want it really rounded, because that's what makes it Moana's ship and not just any other type of boat. Let's see. Let me switch it. I'm going to switch it to this one, like that. Yeah. There we go. So you just keep playing with it until you get it the right spot. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and put a glue dot right here on the top to hold that down, and then I'm going to trim the mast down a little bit more. So my glue dots. Okay, because my mast is small, I'm going to put it right on this edge here, on the corner. And then I'm going to use the dimensionals to hold down the other, whoops, come on, no. Because I still want it kind of pulled away from the mast a little bit. You see, I want this little area pulled away from the mast so that, I forgot to draw my little circle. So before I can do anything else, I have to draw my little wave. So the wave for Moana on her sail, it's actually an actual wave. This is what it looks like. I practiced it over and over again. So I used the fine tip side, and I did it's like a little swirl. It's not a traditional swirl. This one comes around, and this one goes here. And so I'm going to go back around it, make it a little thicker. Okay, and so that's the swirl for, this is Calypso Coral Stampin' Up marker. So now on the back here, I'm going to use dimensionals so to hold it down, and then I'll trim that little mast. Oh, here are the dimensionals. I got so excited about my drawing. Okay, and I'm actually going to trim some of these little edges to get the right size. Yeah, I'm going to trim a little piece off because I want to make sure it's just enough to hit right here. but I don't want to see it on the front. Yeah, I can't see it on the front. And then I'm going to take one and put it right there. And I think I'm going to put one more holding the mast and the sail together. Okay, and then I'm going to trim off the top of the mast here now that I have it. There we go. Trim off the top of my little mast. I didn't want that flag on there. Okay, and then we need the Heart of Nefertiti. I was thinking about using one of these gems for the Heart of Nefertiti. No, I guess we can. But then, I have these other ones. I don't know if you remember from before. See, these ones look a little bit more like the Heart of Nefertiti. But I kind of like the shine of these ones. Because you see, like, these ones have that little shape. Like a little rock. And so, I'll think about it. And then we'll stamp our last piece. Let me pull off our little layers, put our little sailboat down. A little Moana sailboat. Okay, there we go. Oh, I needed some on the bottom of that. I'll put a glue dot underneath here because it's, or a little bit of just liquid glue because it's popping up off of I meant to put a little dimensional here. There we go. I'll just put a little glue there and let that dry just so it stays down. All right, so now we take our label, which I have here, and we're going to stamp on our label. The strength, it's a good one. And I'm going to use Bermuda Bay to stamp my sentiment, which is darker than Coastal Cabana. It's a little bit brighter. See, Pool Party is very pale. Coastal Cabana is a little bit lighter than the Bermuda Bay. And use my little ink spot from a paper pumpkin I got. I think I got that one from the So Cool. Oops, I gotta look at it right side up. I still haven't figured out how to stamp upside down. Oh, perfect. All right. And we're going to add dimensionals to the back of that. Okay. All right. So I've decided I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the little Heart of Nefertiti right here on my boat like I did on the other card that I did. But then I'm going to put some of these gems in the water. Because, so let me get one of these stones. Let's get this one here. I don't want it too big. Let's use this one. And we'll put it right there on the end of the mast so that that's the heart. Okay. I was trying to choose the most oval looking one. And then I'm going to put some of these dots in the water, or these rhinestones in the water, because they're just so pretty. I just can't resist them. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick up some of these Bermuda Bay ones. I think I'll pick up a Pool Party one here. They're a little different. You'll see they're a little different shade. Oh, let me put one here. Kind of distract from the spot that I had. 1, 2, 3. 4, and we need one more. Let me put. Oops. And I could have taken green also, but that adds just a little more shine. When I need to put a heart on there too. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab one more of these heart of Nefertiti. I'm gonna put this one closer to the mast. Okay, so you have your little heart. There we go. So that's our Moana inspired card, guys. So sweet. And remember, this paper is while supplies last. This paper is all while supplies last. And you see, look at how this one had a different, same paper, but this one had a richer back, a little more calypso coral. And this one had a little less, and this one had a little more yellow. And there's another part of the paper that has a little bit more yellow. So there's a variety. I liked adding those little rhinestones and then our little heart. Okay. So remember, the gems and the paper are all while supplies last. Last year, the butterfly paper sold out really quickly. So I have a feeling this wave paper will sell out as well. So, or ocean paper, I guess, will sell out. It's called Waves of Inspiration to get the entire set of gems, foil, paper, die cuts, and the stamp set. So the dies and the stamp set will be $79.25, which isn't that bad for such an so much stuff. So, and remember, you're going to need the larger block for this. I think it's the F size block. You'll need the biggest block because it's a big stamp. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, you can pick everything up from this design. Oh, and these are called the faux sea glass embellishments. You can pick everything up from fabulousstamper.com or stampinup.com, but please use this host code. And thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, have a great day. All right, bye.